Now the G2 is LG's brightest OLED TV for 2022, and it's the brightest OLED TV they have ever produced. And to do this, they used their new OLED Evo panel coupled with a heatsink which allows the TV to achieve brightness that was previously only attainable by LCD TVs of over 1000 nits in some instances. So we're going to be comparing this TV to other top performing TVs like the QD-OLED from Sony and Samsung, as well as the A90J, the top performing OLED TV of 2021, as well as the ever popular LG C2, to see just where this TV fits in the market and if you should get it. But before that, we have to unbox and set it up. Stick around. Hey guys, it's the Villaman here, home theater enthusiast and lover of all things tech. And today we have here LG's G2 OLED Evo TV. And before we even get into the unboxing, I want to send a big shout out to the fine folks over at Value Electronics who loaned me this TV. So if you're in the market for this TV or one like it, then make sure to check out their link in the description below and give them your support, because they support content creators like me to help produce content like this for you. All right, so let's get into the unboxing. And of course, here we have Cooper. Always curious. First, we have the wall mount bracket, which, since this is a gallery model TV, then it's meant for wall mounting. So they included this in the packaging. But there are options if you want to place this TV on a stand as well. And in there you'll find batteries, IR extender, and the LG Magic Remote, the warranty information, as well as the owner's manual. And that's pretty much it. There's nothing else in the box, so let's install that third-party stand. And to do that, of course, we'll use the box that the TV came in with the styrofoam inserted to act as structural support, so we can have a flat surface to install said stand. Now here's the third-party stand, which you can also get from Value Electronics, and the instructions are pretty straightforward, so it's easy to assemble. It comes with the tools you need, like an Allen wrench, but you'll have to provide your own screwdriver. And the best part about it is that it's not only height adjustable, but it also swivels. Pretty cool. So once the stand is assembled, all you have to do is attach these brackets to the TV using the Visa mount holes and do some screwing. I prefer the TV to sit pretty low, especially since I'll be comparing it with a TV above it, so that's why I'll use this topmost hole to mount it. Then we place on the assembled stand, sliding it into the housing, making sure it's centered, and then screwing in this little screw right here so that it's secure. We removed the pedestal so that I could access these two screws, but once we're done, we can put it back. And this is how you adjust the height of the TV if you need it. So this is the highest it can be on this model, and this all the way up here is the lowest it can be. And done. The LG G2 comes in a 55, 65, 77 and an 83-inch screen size. It has a 4K 120Hz native LG OLED Evo panel with a heatsink built in for higher brightness output. It has LG's Alpha 9 Gen 5 AI processor and supports all the adaptive refresh rate features like G-Sync, FreeSync and VRR, as well as auto low latency mode and the HGIG HDR format. It supports Google Stadia and NVIDIA GeForce Now cloud gaming services and has LG's WebOS 2.2 built in. It has a 4.2 channel 60 watt sound system and has 3 USB ports and 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, with port number 2 having the enhanced audio return channel. You know, the TV market is really heating up and there is a lot of competition in the OLED space right now because the G2 has an interesting position because it's more expensive than the C2 from LG also. It's about $300 or so more expensive, but is the difference in price reflective of real world performance? Well, we'll be comparing the two to find that out definitively, but the G2 is also similarly priced to the S95B, which is the QD-OLED from Samsung, and you know that the QD-OLED is a new kind of OLED TV created by Samsung, which removes the color filter and instead adds a quantum dot layer. So that leads to an increase in brightness output, and by my initial comparisons, the performance of the S95B is pretty significant. The difference, at least, is pretty significant when compared to the G2. So I have a bit of a snippet of that comparison, and as you can see in the video, there's a pretty significant difference in the picture quality of both TVs. Now, they both have their strengths and weaknesses, but we'll be comparing those two in a more detailed manner so we can test how they both perform when comparing things like tone mapping and also HDR picture representation, as well as other factors like viewing angles and reflections for a high brightness viewing environment. Yeah, there's a lot in the comparison. So if you want to see that, then make sure to subscribe because those videos are upcoming. But interestingly, when you compare the G2 to Sony's A90J from 2021, which is also more expensive than the G2 at the moment, by the way, you can see that the brightness levels are similar because now the G2 has a heatsink implementation, which is what Sony implemented in their A90J in 2021 to achieve the brighter OLED light output. So it has a brighter overall picture, and the G2 has that this year. So they have pretty similar brightness output in some respects, but the A90J has a better HDR picture rendition in certain instances than the G2 does, and you can see it in this comparison right here. Now, is that picture difference worth the extra $200 asked for the A90J? Well, actually, I think it may be, because the A90J, even though it's last year's model TV, just has this pop to the picture that makes HDR images look so good. But that again is subjective, and the G2 has better gaming features than the A90J. So if you're primarily focused on gaming, so that may be the better option for you. So that said, I'll be comparing the G2 to the LG C2, which is its less expensive sibling, and I'll be comparing it also to the S95B to see how much of a difference there is in the picture of those TVs, because they have very similar price points. The LG supports Dolby Vision and HDR10, while the Samsung supports HDR10 Plus and HDR10. It does not support Dolby Vision like any other Samsung 4K TV or 8K TV for that matter. But that said, OLED TVs aren't the only TVs out there, and right now I have here the Sony X90K as well as the Samsung QN90B mini LED QLED TV. But yeah, stick around for more videos on the LG G2 and the other 2022 model TVs. series. I know I've been kind of MIA, but life has been crazy so far this year, but I plan to make a lot more videos and do a lot more comparisons in the coming weeks, so stick around for those. Oh, and if you want to support the channel so we can make more videos like this, then don't forget to visit the merch store where you can get awesome t-shirts like this one and more. Check it out. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you haven't. Until next time, this has been your friendly neighborhood villain saying be safe and peace.